So I knew going into this week that we'd get a Bad Batch trailer. It's about time, really. On Sunday, it's a month away until the series comes out, so a trailer this week was 100% guaranteed, and it was. The trailer came out today on Tuesday, March 30th. We also got this amazing poster here, which you can see on screen now. It has Hunter, Echo, Crosshair, Wrecker, and Tech on it. I missed one then. I knew I missed one. But yeah, the trailer was epic, so this video is we're going to break it down and give my theories on it. Also, we got it confirmed that the first episode premiering on May the 4th is a 70-minute episode. That is the longest episode of any Disney Plus show ever yet, anyway. I don't know if Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to have a 70-minute episode, maybe one of the last one, but yeah, that's the first time it's crossed that boundary, so I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm glad Bad Batch has that honor. So let's get into the trailer breakdown then, shall we? So first things first, the trailer opens in the training room on Kamino that obviously we saw back in Season 3 of the Clone Wars in the Domino Squad episode, so we're back here again, and it looks like Tarkin is testing the Bad Batch. He wants to see their full abilities on display, and we see him watch them take down a bunch of training droids, especially these. I've never seen these droids before. These are a bit weird, but they look quite cool. But they're also the Dark Trooper-looking droids, which aren't Dark Troopers. They're more prototypes of the Imperial security droids, I think. Oh, but we get to see Lama Su again, which is pretty cool. I always like the Kaminoans. They're a really interesting race, I think. And hopefully we get to see him die, and him and Nala Se as well, because of what they did to Fives. I think they deserve to die. So hopefully the Bad Batch kill them in their breakout. But yeah, this training sequence looks pretty cool. It's on screen now. I'm playing the trailer in the background for a bit. This will definitely be in the very first episode of the show. I reckon it'll be very, very early on. I also find it cool how at one point in this training session we see Crosshair shoot a knife. I just think that's really weird and cool. But we can tell very early on in the trailer that Tarkin has a big problem with the Bad Batch and their lack of authority in following orders. So that would be interesting to see that dynamic very early on, because they're the stark opposites of each other. You know, the Bad Batch are a very lively group and Tarkin's this very stoic, unhumorous man. So that was going to be fun to see for as little as that dynamic lasts for in the show, because I think it will end pretty early because Tarkin will want them killed. We then see Pantora in the trailer where Hunter is stealing a speeder bike, and you may think, how do you know this is Pantora? Well, if you ever have seen the unfinished clips from the Dark Disciple arc, then Pantora looks exactly like this in those clips. And I think they've used an asset from that arc to where Ventress was riding a speeder. I think they've taken that exact shot and just replaced Ventress with Hunter, which, again, it makes me sad that we never got Dark Disciple, but at the same time, I'm super excited for this series, so I think one day we will get Dark Disciple, but I'm so happy with Bad Batch for now. But yeah, this is 100% Pantora. It's also confirmed that Fennec Shand will meet them on Pantora and will face off with the Bad Batch, as we see in this shot here in the trailer. We see the Bad Batch going, or Hunter going after Fennec. So that's going to be interesting to see what role Fennec will play, especially. And of course, she's voiced by the amazing Ming-Na Wen. Now I want to bring your attention to this snowy world, because I think this is where the show will be opening. This will be one of the last battles of the Clone Wars that the Bad Batch are involved in, as we see B1s in the middle of the battle there and Republic forces going up against Separatists. And I think this battle was also shown in the flashbacks for Old Friends Not Forgotten, Season 7, Episode 9. They'd already made this episode and just put it in the flashback for the Clone Wars Season 7, which is pretty cool. But I am 100% willing to bet that this is where the show will open, and then after this battle they'll go straight to Kamino, and whilst they're on Kamino, that's when the Emperor will give his speech about the Republic being transformed into the Empire, and then they'll go into the training room and Tarkin will arrive, and then it will all go wrong from there on out. I do also think that the Bad Batch will work for the Empire for at least a couple of the first few episodes. I think the mission on Zygeria that we see in both trailers is part of an Imperial mission, and essentially I think once they go to Onderon, that's where they betray the Empire. And what makes me think this even more is the moment from the new trailer with Saw Gerrera where he's saying, you have a choice to stand with me now or die with the past, you know? And I think he's saying, look what the Empire's become. It's no longer the Republic. Do you really want to serve the Empire where they hate you? Or do you want to come and fight for a noble cause again like you did before? And that's what I think this scene is going to play out like in the show. I think Saw Gerrera is going to be integral to the Bad Batch betraying the Empire. It is weird with Saw, though, because he is essentially returning to his roots, returning to his original actor, because Forrest Whitaker, who plays him in Rogue One, Fallen Order, and Rebels, is not the original person who played Saw. It was the person who played him in the Clone Wars. I can't actually remember his name, but he's returned to voice Saw here, and we can see that he does look a bit different to what he looked like in season 5. But he doesn't really look like Forrest Whitaker either. It's weird. Saw's gone through so many design changes over the years, it's unreal. I wonder what it will be like at the end of the show. But I kind of do like the transition from Clone Wars Saw to Forrest Whitaker Saw, and I'm looking forward to seeing how much he's going to be in the show, because you'd think a lot, because he is essentially the Empire's biggest enemy in this time period. Of course, we also got it confirmed that Captain Rex will be returning in the show, which I was 50-50 on whether he would. I thought to myself, he's more likely to return than not. And of course, here he is in the trailer. He is missing the hole in his pauldron, though, from uh, obviously the end of season 7. And it looks like he's ended up on the scrap world of Braca, which is a bit weird. It might not be Braca, it might just be another scrap world. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he's doing and what he's been doing since season 7 of the Clone Wars, whether he's with Ahsoka or not. And I really hope the show gives us the story of how Gregor survived and how Rex ended up with Wolf and Gregor on Selos in Star Wars Rebels Season 2. Let's now talk about the two biggest things that I took away from the trailer. The first one being Omega, the first female clone, and the second thing being Crosshair is definitely staying with the Empire. So, Omega means final or the last of something. Alpha usually means the first, and Omega usually means the last. That's why Alpha and Omega usually go together, the first and the last. Um, but yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Omega. We know she's a female clone, the first female clone in canon, I think, and she's possibly force sensitive. I've seen that theory going around, and it makes sense with the weird like necklace thing on her head. I don't quite know what that is. I'm excited to see what role she's going to play in the show, whether or not she'll be in every episode. I don't think she will be, but I think she'll be an integral part. And I think she's so special, in fact, that the Bad Batch actually break back into Kamino to save her because they find out what the Empire is going to do, or Saw tells them what the Empire is going to do. Simply from this scene here, I believe they're on a stealth mission here to rescue Omega because they find out what plans the Empire have for her. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the Vader comic or something, there was a Project Omega mentioned. So I wonder if that has anything to do with this Omega clone here. That'd be pretty cool. But she seems very capable, and we see her using a Night Sister bow in the trailer. I don't think it's a Night Sister bow. I think that's just how bow and arrows are in the Star Wars universe. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this character, definitely. So here we see Hunter and Crosshair on screen now, and I believe this is when the Bad Batch break into Kamino to try and rescue Omega, and Crosshair finds them, and this is a confrontation between the two, and this is where the Bad Batch truly learn that Crosshair is going to betray the team, because in this shot here from the trailer, we don't see Crosshair with the rest of the team escaping, so I think this is where the divide between the Crosshair and the team will come in to play. That combined with the covert ops commander we see in the first trailer, whose armor is very, very similar to Crosshair, and he has the exact same sniper rifle, I think it's obvious that Crosshair is going to go against the team and stay with the Empire. And I think Tarkin will task Crosshair with hunting down the Bad Batch because he knows them the best, and he will be in charge of the special ops unit of clones, the covert ops, who are tasked with hunting down clone deserters. That's a really interesting concept, and I can't wait to see these guys in the show. And if Crosshair is leading them, which I 100% think he is, it's going to be even better. Lastly, I just wanted to mention that this shot here we see with Tarkin with 4 shock troopers. The shock trooper to the left of Tarkin has a red pauldron, and I 100% believe that is Commander Thaya, who appeared in the very first episode of the Clone Wars, Season 1, Episode 1, Ambush, and then again appeared in Revenge of the Sith. So it's pretty cool bringing Thaya back. I don't know what role he's going to play in the show. Perhaps he can join the Covert Ops troops. But yeah, just a nice nod to the early days of the Clone Wars. Overall, this second trailer for The Bad Batch was absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait for this show. It looks fantastic and a true successor to the Clone Wars. I'm really interested to see the rise of the Empire and how it expands during this time period. I think that's what I'm looking forward to most. Yeah, this show is going to be epic. But yeah, if you enjoyed this trailer breakdown, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your thoughts down below, and I'll see you later.